The quiet, almost unsettling atmosphere of a truly desolate place settled heavily around the prophet. A supernatural stillness hung over the entire expanse, signifying complete abandonment. Suddenly, the undeniable power of the Lord rested upon the prophet Ezekiel in a distinct way. He was immediately transported in spirit to a specific, low-lying valley floor. Ezekiel found himself standing where an entire history of death was clearly visible. This entire landscape was horrifyingly covered with countless scattered, lifeless bones. They were utterly bleached by time and exposure to the harsh, indifferent elements. These dry remnants served as a grim, silent testament to total destruction and finality. The sheer, overwhelming scale of the death represented a situation beyond any natural repair. In that chilling, profound silence, a deep, resonant voice suddenly echoed across the floor. The Lord directed his divine attention specifically to the watching, astonished prophet. He posed a monumental question that challenged all existing human understanding of life. The divine voice asked pointedly, "Son of man, can these brittle bones truly find life again?" Ezekiel absorbed the impossible reality laid bare before his very eyes in that moment. He recognized the deep historical nature of this utter hopelessness presented to him. The prophet offered his answer with deep respect and profound, genuine humility. He chose to defer the power of the outcome entirely to the divine authority present. Ezekiel wisely responded, "O Lord God, you are the one who truly knows everything." A moment passed, allowing the weight of that human acknowledgement to settle in the air. Then, the Lord gave a clear, direct, and unavoidable command to the man of God. He instructed Ezekiel with an undeniable directive: prophesy now to these very bones. This was a direct call to action based purely on faith in the spoken word, not sight. Ezekiel stepped forward, ready to obey the specific instructions given to him by the Almighty. He began to speak out the powerful message as the Lord had commanded him to do in that place. As the prophetic words left his lips, a strange and subtle movement began to stir. There was a faint, dry, and unsettling rattling sound beginning to rise up from the valley floor. The individual bone pieces on the ground were responding to the power of the spoken creative word. The rattling intensified, growing in volume and urgency across the entire desolate landscape. Slowly, miraculously, the scattered bones began to move from their long resting places. They shifted and rolled, seeking their natural and corresponding connections in the earth. The process accelerated as pieces sought each other out across the dusty, barren ground. Bone was drawn unerringly to bone with incredible supernatural alignment and precision. Skeletons were rapidly reforming themselves into complete, recognizable human structures before his eyes. The initial stage of this physical reconstruction was now visibly taking place all around him. Yet, the process was clearly not finished, as the assembled forms remained eerily inert. The next incredible layer of divine transformation began to unfold right there in the valley. Tough, elastic sinews started to sprout and stretch themselves across the newly formed bone framework. These vital tendons quickly anchored themselves firmly to every single articulation point they encountered. Following closely behind, thick layers of muscle tissue began to develop with astonishing speed. These muscles then enveloped the sinews, giving the skeletal forms potential and internal strength. Flesh then rapidly covered the entire muscular structure, providing a complete outer covering. Skin formed over the flesh, completing the human exterior in every recognizable detail. These figures now looked exactly like people, fully materialized upon the dusty earth. Yet, despite this incredible physical reconstitution, a critical element remained completely absent. A profound, deep silence still dominated the valley, broken only by the surrounding wind's sigh. The terrifying truth was that these perfectly formed bodies held absolutely no breath within them at all. They were perfectly formed vessels entirely devoid of the essential, animating spirit of life. Once again, the voice of the Almighty filled the expectant, waiting atmosphere with purpose. The Lord provided the second, absolutely crucial instruction for this final step of creation. He commanded Ezekiel, "Prophesy now to the wind, you son of man," for the final time. The specific instruction was to call forth the very essence of life itself to enter these forms. Ezekiel turned and spoke again, calling for the very breath of God to fill the valley floor. As he spoke the second prophecy, the entire atmosphere in the valley dramatically shifted its energy. A powerful rushing sound began to build, gathering force from the distant horizon line. A mighty wind swept in from all four corners of the earth to fulfill the divine call. This pure, rushing current of air poured into every single waiting, assembled body with undeniable force. The divine breath of life rushed into the lungs and circulated through the newly formed vessels instantly. In a single unified moment, they all gasped and drew their very first true breath of existence. Life surged through their systems, awakening them instantly from their long, death-like paralysis. They sprang up immediately onto their waiting, newly formed, and perfectly steady feet. The valley was instantly transformed from a silent graveyard into a massive, standing assembly. Ezekiel watched in awe as this incredible living army took its proper, ordered position before him. This was not a small collection of individuals, but a boundless host, standing ready for divine purpose. The Lord then clarified the profound, overarching meaning of this entire miraculous event for the prophet. He explained that this was a prophetic declaration of hope intended for the whole nation of Israel. It was a powerful promise affirming that their national hope was not truly lost forever. This entire vision serves as a timeless, powerful reminder for every generation that follows. Consider your own personal situation right now that feels completely dry and barren in this season. Perhaps you feel that your long efforts have yielded nothing but dust and continued silence lately. Maybe the hopelessness surrounding a specific dream feels absolute, permanent, and entirely unshakable. Know this deep truth: God's restorative power operates beyond the limits of all human logic and reason. He specializes in making something magnificent, thriving, and beautiful out of utter ruin and despair. The Lord truly has the sole authority to breathe vitality back into any dormant or neglected situation. He can completely revitalize the areas of your life that you have long considered dead or gone forever. Do not let the current temporary appearance of things dictate your ultimate, long-term expectation. This ancient script confirms that God specializes in performing impossible resurrections for his people. He wants to bring forth a mighty, living army of restored potential in your own life story today. Allow him to work his unique life-giving miracle where you have only seen dry, lifeless bones. Embrace the absolute promise that what seems totally lost can be miraculously found and made whole again. Release that heavy situation to the one who first spoke active life into an empty, silent valley. Remember this powerful truth: your season of barrenness is absolutely not the final word on your future story. Trust completely in the God who commands the very wind and the life-giving breath of existence itself. He is ready to raise up something truly great from what appears completely over and utterly finished to you. This is the potent, tangible message of divine hope made real for every single person listening today. Continue to look for the subtle movement, the hopeful rattling, and the coming of that divine life-giving breath. God's unending power to completely restore is always far greater than any perceived impossibility you face. He promises to stand you up firmly on your own feet, making you a living, breathing testimony of his works. May you personally experience this powerful, undeniable resurrection in your own unique journey, starting right now. Share this incredible message of unstoppable hope with anyone who needs to hear this powerful promise today. Remember Ezekiel, remember the valley, and remember the God who alone brings life from dust.